Welcome back to some professional Starcraft 2, the Nation Wars 2019 finals. The top two countries and their three-player teams have duked it out, and we've gotten down to two. They're competing in Paris, France. O Gaming TV putting on the event, but France didn't make it. Two countries you're probably not particularly surprised. Representing the great country of Finland, it is Serral, the Finnisher. And in the bottom right, we have the man, the machine, the starting player for South Korea. It is Innovation as the Terran. A match that probably one of the best CVTs we could have right now in StarCraft 2. It is Innovation, honestly, probably the most consistent player at this level. Maru is feeling a lot less so, and he wasn't on Team Korea. Let me just list the team members. One team is a little more top-heavy than the other, but for South Korea, we have Innovation, the Terran, Su, the Zerg, and Stats, the Protoss. And then for Team Finland, we have Serral, Torilla, and also the MustZero. You might remember him from the Cannon Rush Cheese Hour, and Zhuge Liang, who Serral beat with Terran in the Finnish country Grand Championship as well. So he has a couple teammates. So the way it works is there are 3 best of 1. So the first 3 matches, since we're doing a standard cookie cutter opener right now. Serral versus Innovation. It's going to be MustZero versus Stats and Zhuge Liang versus Su. And then both teams are able to get 2 revives. So whoever they send out another player. We'll get to it. I'm not going to spend too much time explaining because I'm confusing myself. Essentially, they're going to be potentially able to send out 2 more players. As in, they of the players they already have. Oh my god, I've confused myself. How hard was it to explain? There are 3 players, and then they get 2 revives. Like, it's not that hard after the first 3 matches. Now I'm making it confusing again. Just, let's watch. First to 5 games. Jesus. I feel like I'm making this. I'm more confused than most people. But I don't know how I do it. I have a special talent for making things hard on myself. Reaper runs through. Now, Serral, of course, a strong favorite. He has the potential to win every match for Team Finland and take the tournament home himself. But he has a team behind him. They're no pushovers. They're solidly Grandmaster. But the strength is much more evenly distributed on Team Korea, I would definitely say. Overlord speed, Serral, gonna watch everything Innovation is doing. Going with a greedy 3 command center play to kick things out. We do have Fusion Core on the way. And it's gonna be battle. Was he actually trying to hide this? Like, Serral's gonna get Overlord speed. He's gonna see what you're doing, and he's gonna shut it down. He knows how to handle all these openers. Will the 2 Hellions actually run by? No, Innovation not making that calculation. He wants exactly enough Hellions to make sure he can pressure with the battlecruiser, but guess what? Serral's doing the wraparound. He's looking with the Lings. Here come the Queens from the other side. There's no escape. Brenda and her knitting crew. What are we doing? You guys were supposed to catch the Hellions. What were you doing out there? I don't care if they were keeping it lit. Anyways. The Hellions do survive that potential trap. 8 Hellions done. Is there a wall on the high ground? Not really. There's 1 Queen, a lot of Zerglings. He's going to try to minimize the damage. A big commitment here. Innovation just started his battlecruiser. He's looking for the kills. Serral's lining him up, but the Queen She holds the line. Technically, a single queen can block on the ramp, and it does here. Serral, Innovation gonna lose 8 Hellions for just 4 drones, which does not seem like a worthy investment. He gets in, there's 1 queen. He thinks he's got it handled. But Serral, calm and collected under pressure. He's not gonna let that happen. Even getting the Viking, Innovation. He's got his 3rd, so that's gonna be a solid economy for him, but those Hellions getting absolutely shut down. The door slammed shut. Finished, if you would. We do have 4 more. This might give away the fact this is going to be mech if it hadn't already been spotted. Honestly, with the 3cc and the battlecruiser, it's not unlikely. But now the Overseer will zip in at plaid speed in order to confirm mech. The battlecruiser's in the main. There's a couple queens here. A 3rd one's about to pop out. Battlecruiser going to be pushed away. A scan at the natural, spots the Spire, realizing Lair Tech is done, but he hasn't yet spotted what the choice is. Serral's going for the direct heads-up counter to the battlecruisers and to the mech. He's going to go Roach Corruptor, which is about as solid of a counter as you get to the Hellion battlecruiser opener. Queens will chase down the flying laser bathtub, doing very little to it. And Yamato Cannon's on the way. Serral will see that researching. He'll realize that battlecruisers are in order. Now, that means Corruptors are a worthy investment. Was that for show? Like, well, keeping the battlecruisers, that is partially your defense against Roaches early on. The Roach is going to try to chase down some of these Hellions. The Zerglings may be looking for a wraparound. There aren't enough of them to really be effective at that. Going to be 72 against 72 workers, but it just feels like Serral has control of the situation because he's deflected everything Innovation has done thus far. The depot wall will keep the Roaches out. Where's the infestation pit Serral? Will he be able to actually pressure with Roach Corruptor? That is risky because if there is a solid defense from Innovation, then eventually a near 200 supply mech army becomes incredibly strong. Serral is going to be looking to tech up. I seriously doubt he's just going to try to max out and go. Because against an Innovation who's this well set up, he's got zoning turrets, he's got tanks, there's a couple Ravagers on the way. Serral does look like he's going to go for the attack. I might be proven wrong here, but 1-1 is on the way. Innovation just now starting his upgrade, Serral's going to have +1. Both these players really focusing more on unit composition than they are on specific tech. Command center was slowed down. Serral with a little bit more army supply, but remember, an entrenched position is worth a lot here. More Roaches and Ravagers. Serral locked at 72 drones. A lot of the Hellions headed across the map right now. The tanks are unsieged. The tank's so important in this. The battlecruisers are not on point. Serral snaps up a couple tanks before Innovation reacts. Only 2 on the high ground. More tanks going to the low ground. The wall is shut just in time, but it's going to be broken down by the Roach Ravager. Some Hellions on the other side. A couple tanks getting shots off, but that's the only 2 tanks he has. Serral pounding through. Everything getting obliterated at the natural. The reinforcements on the way. Yamato Cannon's going to be used, but the Corruptors are in just high enough number. He's forced to jump. Where does he jump to? Not very far, just far enough to the shipyards and repair. And I guess I was wrong. Serral with the killer instinct makes the Roaches and Ravagers, gets just the right amount of Corruptors, and pounds the point home. It looks like Finland will be off to a strong 1-0 victory. Serral coming through, and I think, well, Serral is the obvious favorite from everyone here, but I didn't expect it to be that decisive. We got Corrosive Biles almost killing a battlecruiser. Innovation trying to hold on. It's all over. We should see 2 Gs any second as Serral has ripped him to shreds. Couple tanks on the high ground. Sure, you can pretend like this game isn't over, but 57 SCVs. To his credit, he still has 38, so whole lot of SCV production. That battlecruiser Not dodging, well, dodging better than the command center. More corruptors, more roaches, more ravagers, more opportunities for innovation to leave this game. More Zerglings. Serral is not gonna let up. He just blasted through another base. 60 SCVs down for the count. Come on, innovation. Come on, we know where this is going. Even Serral coming up a tiny ramp here, but he does not care. He says, innovation, get out of my game and get out of my tournament. Serral takes the first match for Finland. And he made it look easy. It looked like just another ladder game that he crushes somewhere in the realm of 9 out of 10. Like, you never know.
30 months, glad I still enjoy.
Glad you still enjoy. You make. Game number 2, though. The MustZero versus Stats. I don't know how much Stats knows about MustZero, but he is one of the highest level cannon rushers in the world. He's even beaten Print F before. Professor F, the connoisseur of cannon. We're gonna just not talk any more about the format. I'm just gonna keep putting games up till there aren't any more games. Thank you to O Gaming for providing these games for our viewing pleasure. In the bottom right, the 2 probes are on the way. Where there's a probe, there's a problem. Neither player, though, is going for a pylon at the ramp. This means Stats knows his opponent. MustZero's going for the cannon rush. Top left is the Shield of Ire. Stats. There goes the probe. Oh, never trust a probe. My dad trusted a probe one time, and now he's fine. He just doesn't like Protoss. There is a Forge on the way. MustZero's going to kick it off from the low ground. There isn't going to be... Yeah, I'm pretty sure Stats is playing his opponent right now. He's watching the Stats cam. Oh, okay. He knows. He knows. 100%. Stats has had enough of this. He's going to bring probes down, but there could be a body block. MustZero, he didn't get the gateway block on the cannons. Oh, I'd say that's a pretty big mistake right now. 1 cannon on the way. There's a lot on the line. This is the Nation Wars Grand Finals. Another pylon block to delay. There's still 1 probe. Gets a pilot on the high ground, but a small block with only 2 probes there. There's enough. Usually you're supposed to get a gateway to the left side of that cannon, but it's not happening. It looks like the probes will be just enough. The cannon kills 2, but the perfect calculation. Stats knows the numbers. Oh, he pops the probe out. Oh, the magical probe. What a play. But the Zealot is working through. I don't know if that cannon's going to finish. Stats, he has a Cyber Core done. He gets a Stalker. That is all over. Stats has just enough. He starts the Stalker. Another cannon on the way. More probes pulled. But that first cannon had to finish. It had to be a part of this. And without it, it appears this rush has been stopped. It is finished, says Stats. He's crunched the numbers, and he's crunched the cannons. Takes down another probe, and that's the end of this. MustZero is starting his very first gateway, which is not really something you want at this stage of the match. And Stats has 21 workers. Like, he even cancels a shield battery. It's over. And I hate to be Twitch chat or a pro gamer casting, but this is not something you come back from. Like, maybe Stats, there's a chance Stats is overly cautious, and that allows some semblance of a dream, but Stats only lost 2 probes. Like, he had more workers, more tech, more units. There is no advantage besides the Forge, kind of, but you can't afford cannons back at home. Pack it up. I mean, now we gotta be thinking, the next match, I hate to be that guy, but the next match is Zhuge Liang versus Sue. It's a ZVZ, another mirror matchup. Honestly, MustZero, a bit of a mistake on the gateway block. So the issue was, in this scenario, you're really looking for pylon, gateway, and then you jam a cannon in there. But he didn't. Stats got the probe into position to deny the block a little bit early, and I think MustZero kind of hesitated a bit on it, and that cost him everything. And now we have two Stalkers micro against the Zealot, and this is very sad for the Zealot. And now we see here. Alright, we're going to run the numbers. When you have 3 Stalkers and they have 1 Stalker, that means you're going to have 2 more Stalkers. A shield battery delays the inevitable. But the probes are pulled. The Protoss boys. The Stalker, he doesn't actually turn and fire that last shot, but the shield battery is drained. There's no reason not to go. Stats, come claim the very first victory for South Korea. The underdogs in this match. The underdogs in any match with Serral involved. GG. MustZero taps it out. Stats takes game 2. And now Zerg versus Zerg. I'm going to plug Zhuge Liang into Google Translate, and we're gonna pronounce it like that. Just so I'm ready for this next match.
Zhuge Liang.
Well, we're not gonna say it like that, but we could also say ZGL. Zhuge Liang. Oh god, it's gonna be a mess. ZGL. I like ZGL. That sounds pretty cool as well. It doesn't sound as cool as saying the whole name, but it's painful and mildly offensive for me to pronounce it. So, in the bottom left is South Korea's Sue, and in the top right is Zhuge Liang. Oh, my mouth doesn't make those sounds very good, but hopefully he makes better builds than I make mouth sounds, which, oh god, that was disgusting. Hopefully his build is as well. We'll keep segueing until we eventually drive off a cliff. It is Zen. We're on Zen, which is a bit of a weird map because of all the mineral walls throughout. I would not be that... Indy, show me the way. Thank you. I wouldn't be surprised, nor would I blame ZGL for cheesing. Like a Nidus, something like that. Here's the thing, though. What do you think Sue thinks he's going to do? He knows he's a solid, like, high Grandmaster Zerg, but Sue is... There are a single-digit number of players better than Sue. One of them is on Team Finland, but it is not ZGL, at least by common measures. So, Overlord looking for an opportunity. No, what am I saying? That's one of those you zone out, but as a caster you have to keep saying words, even if they mean... Keep saying mouth sounds, even if they mean nothing. No, the Overlord is looking for what comes out of the larva first. Are you producing a queen? Exactly when did you get the hatch? Is it going to be drones? The other Overlord is spotting for the third base. The first Overlords are super important. Super important in Zerg versus Zerg. Now, something you can do on Zen is block off the little mineral patch area up there near the natural with a Baneling Nest, an Evo Chamber. You can actually block that with a single building. The natural is designed around being able to block that in Zerg versus Zerg. That's a fun fact right there. Fun little factoid. Top 10 fun facts to make you like and subscribe with Twitch Prime. please subscribe and I'll tell you more Zerg facts. Did you know queens are neither armored nor light units? They are just the right weight. And they'll have you know they're psionic and biological, and that's it. So stop charging up your Void Rays against them. Also, subscribe for more Zerg bio facts. Lurkers have 5 legs. Check it yourself. Crunch the numbers. Check it out. Is that a hard wall? Do your own research. Read a book. That is a hard wall with a Roach Warren and Evo Chamber. Sue is already gone for a 3rd base. This is interesting. I think he's going to mine the mineral patches at the front and just use his ramp like a normal ramp. ZGL has gone for 43. He's gone for 2 base saturation, which means he actually has a slightly better economy for now. And it's just going to be a straight up. This is one of the oldest builds in the book. Like, people have been doing this for 9 years now. A +1 roach speed timing. He's got 2 base saturation. He's going to build a bunch of roaches. He's going to have +1. He's going to try to hit Sue in that window where Sue doesn't have either the upgrades, the roach count, speed, anything like that. There is going to be a window of about, it looks about 30 seconds here between the +1 upgrades. And of course, Sue invested in a 3rd base. He invested in all this other stuff that doesn't go directly into building roaches. So the maneuverability... Oh, he's even doing a creep highway, but Brenda! Oh, where's the other transfuse? Why can't you transfuse yourself? Questions that have been asked for years. But the queens get caught out. Not a huge deal to start. Would have helped with the creep tumors. Both queens going to be assassinated. But with the creep highway, the roach speed going to be even quicker as the reinforcements are on the way. Right now, it's 14 roaches to 9 and rising for both sides. It's going to come down to whether Sue has the numbers. I really like what ZGL did with the wall off, with the choices here. He's really using the map in a way that a lot of players, rarely do. A lot of players have their builds, but not too many of them are map dependent like this. They might have adjustments or different variations, but this is a Zen build, what we're seeing here out of ZGL. So, a really cool usage. I don't think I've ever seen anyone take that base, let alone take it as a 3rd. So that's super cool. Corrosive Bowels going up, knocking down an Ovi. Sue is supply blocked. A big mistake here, right as the Roaches and Ravagers come in. 22 Roaches and 5 Ravagers to just 21 and 1. +1 is done for both sides. But Roach speed is already done as ZGL gonna jump on this advantage. Sue desperately trying to bring reinforcements in. The drones are pulled, and remember, he doesn't have many to spare. The Roach is forcing... a nice Corrosive Bow from Sue is going to turn the tides a little bit. He hit several Ravagers with that. But now, Zhuge Liang has taken the drone lead. He has the +2. Sue can't even get +2 yet, because his layer isn't even done. He's about to start the Roach speed. Roach speed means, without Roach speed, you can't fight, because he can just poke and run away, Essentially, Sue is locked on defense until Roach speed is done, and he has a smaller economy. He's going to have worse upgrades. So, there's really no kicker here. ZGL is just ahead. There's nothing, like, there's no Ninus. It's really risky to go for a Spire. There's some Zerglings out on the map, but overall... the Finnish Zerg. I wonder how much he collaborated with Serral on this build. I'd imagine some, at least. Obviously, they have a shared interest here in him winning against Sue, but he's staying calm under pressure. 48 drones, not too many, but he is taking advantage of that 3rd base. And there's no reason he can't just build more Roaches, more Ravagers, and hit them with +2 done. There's no reason that can't happen. I see nothing out here that, like, Sue just has to desperately make Roaches and hope ZGL makes a mistake because he's had a better economy. He's going to have better upgrades, more Ravagers. Ravagers aren't necessarily just for potentially doing damage. They're for forcing reduced damage to your army. You throw up the Corrosive Bows, they got to micro away. Sue's very good at microing just a few Roaches instead of all of them. But 9 Ravagers are going to force a lot of Roaches to move out of position, or... be a solid addition to the damage output of the army. So I keep the unit count up because this is the important number here. As ZGL, he's transferring some drones from his main. He's only gone up to 49, which still more than Sue. Remember, Sue had to pull his drones earlier. So this is it. There's just more roaches with, in a few seconds, better upgrades for ZGL. He's going to be attacking into a defensive position, but the Ravagers can help crack that open. Shots across the bow. Nothing from Sue as of yet. He only has 3 Ravagers in the back. ZGL just going forward. Blood is in the water, and he's sharking for it. Ravagers again. They're going to keep forcing him back. A beautiful concave from Sue, but is it going to make the difference? ZGL isn't even microing out of Corrosive Bow. That could be the one thing that turns the tides, but I don't think so. As the Roaches and Ravagers are too much. Zhuge Liang maintaining a hefty supply lead. And Finland goes up 2-1. What an upset. But, like, that was clean. That was beautifully done. I really like the hard wall, like, kind of turning the map a little on its head. A lot of players try to play... Jimmy, oh my god. Can we get one of those fancy, like, pro streamer, come down from above mic stand things? But a lot of players try to play around the map. Like, they try to play, like, how do I make this into a more standard map? ZGL instead was like, no. We're going to play it. Look, I have a closer rush distance if I go this way. So, there you go. So that means the players will bring out their revives. Essentially the match restarts, and the players brought out for match number 4, Serral and Stats. I have a feeling we're going to see Serral versus Team Korea. Well, now the players knew who they were facing before. The first 3 matches were planned out. But now the teams have to pick the potential counter to their opponent. In the top left, the Finnisher from NC Sports and Team Finland. It's Serral. And in the bottom right, the Shield of Iron. The only Team Korea player to take a match thus far. Can he maintain their footing? Stats. Now, this is a repeat of the 2018 WCS Championship Finals, which Serral was able to take. If everybody forgets that Stats beat Serral at Assembly Summer in 2019, this year, Stats beat Serral in a tournament final. But we're all just glossing over that because Serral and Rainer are having their domestic dispute for every other tournament. But Stats is no pushover. He's the player that if you're looking for Protoss builds, if you're looking for... If you want to learn how to play Protoss, you watch Stats. Because there are a lot of players. Serral's another good example, and Innovation as well. They're good template players, is what I call them. Players that you can watch them play, and you can see why they're doing what they do. There are other players who are not good template players. Players that if you try to emulate, you will fail, and worse than you could imagine. Those are players who are more like Maru, your Rainers, who rely on ridiculously high APM. Other players like SOS or Puck, who just have these wild strategies that partially rely on their opponents being so good that they bamboozle them with their brains. A probe spotted the drone. There are a lot of Protoss who you shouldn't try to copy, but Stats is not one of them. That's the summary there. There's Shield Protosses, of which the literal poster boy is Stats. And then there are YOLO tosses, which is everyone who gets clipped a lot streaming. Pretty much. First Adept is scouting in. Now, what is it looking for? First, do you have a lair on the way? No. Just gotta confirm that. He probably doesn't, but in the off chance he does, very important info. Is it gonna be a knight or something like that? Also, some players will throw a second shade, and they'll check the drone count, they'll check behind the mineral line at the natural. And yes, these are mapped out. This isn't like, I don't know if I get my Adept across. No, no, no. This is part of the opener. Like, we could write a script for Zerg versus Protoss just constantly. And this would be, we're on script. So he's got a Phoenix first. Somehow, Serral juked the Phoenix with the Overlord by keeping it in the edge of stats' main, which was a ultra big brain move. But the Phoenix will kill the Overlord. Next will come an Oracle, probably a second Oracle. This one's going to be used to protect the third. The Phoenix goes across the map, picks up a Queen. Oracle pokes in, tries to do damage. Probably doesn't do that much damage, but it tries really hard and is very sad when it only kills 2 drones. Then, the third base on the way. 1 Oracle at home to defend, as well as 2 Queens. So, the next choice from stats, well, he's already got his gases 3 and 4. Robotics on the way. Going to be a Twilight Council next, alongside attempting that third base. Are we going to get a Queen pickup? It doesn't look like it. Well, here come 2 Adepts. Down to the third base. Second Oracle, down to the third base. Now we're getting a third. Can you tell if I'm casting this game or I'm reading off a script? Well, it doesn't really matter, because we've seen this story before. Where's the Twilight? Now this is off script. Where's the Twilight? Is it going to be a robo play? Now that is a little odd. Because usually we'll see a Twilight into Archons of some sort. Oh, Oracle's trying their best. Very sad when they don't get much damage done. It could. We've seen a bit of a resurgence of Immortal Sentry, but it's still kind of rare compared to the Twilight. But it looks like we will have some Immortal Sentry action. Those Adepts get jammed up against the Nexus. The Lings having their way with them, but the Oracles come back home. No, it's going to be a Twilight and a Forge. I think Stats was just a little late on it. He has a lot of gas, but I think he was kind of figuring out where he stood and making sure he could get his third. Immortal on the way. Let's read the production tab some more. +1 melee. Twilight Council. Forge. Roach speed. Interesting that Serral's going to commit. 3 more whole drones. Wow. +1 and charge coming up for stats. Will we see a Templar Archives? No. Let me finish my sentence, Mr. Stats, please. So we are going up into a Mortal Archon charge lot up against Roaches, Lings, and... Now here's the kicker. Infestation Pit for Swarm Host? Are we actually going to go Ravager, Ling, Bane, Mr. Serral? Swarm Hosts are the standing order. I think a lot of players agree. But so far it's just Roaches. 65 drones from Serral, which isn't a huge number. That indicates he's either expecting an attack or he wants to put on one himself. The Infestation Pit is a third of the way done, but we still got a ways to go. No Nidus yet, so that Infestation Pit doesn't necessarily mean a huge commitment to Swarm Host. I think there's no reason why not, though. You saw the Templar Archives, this is a Swarm Host game, if ever there was one. And Serral, one of the pioneers of the Swarm Host style up against Protoss, so... The one thing I'm concerned about for Serral... Oh, wow. Hive right off the bat. What are you going to do? Try to make Ultralisks? Because that's an Ultra Risk. We got a Spire on the way. Where are the hosts? Serral's a little supply blocked. 7 OVs on the way. That'll fix it. He's got 80 drones now, so he's decided neither is an attack coming, nor am I going to put on any pressure. Oracle. Wow, a Stasis Ward. Trying all those tools. Serral handles it beautifully. And Immortal Archon charge slot on the way across. 1 Queen. Oh, Brenda and Karen obliterated before they know what hit them. Now this army's a little dangerous. Plus, well, Baneling speed. That's the one. Baneling speed is about to complete. So with the Baneling speed, the Banelings hit 5 more HP, and of course, they can close the distance very quickly. +2 melee allows the one-shotting of probes and 2-shotting of Templar if the Banelings close that distance. The Greater Spire. It appears Serral has skipped the Swarm Host phase and is going directly to Broodlords, which leaves a pretty large opening, and Broodlords are not what they once were. They are not unkillable by ground units. But you get enough Broodlords, and you're still going to need Stargate. There is a Stargate, of course, but Tempests are really the unit. Maybe Void Rays in a pinch, but Tempests are going to be the unit. I'm getting ahead of myself, because here comes Serral. Look at that minimap. He's arced all the way out around. Immortals, Archons, Charge Lots. We got some Sentries in there for Force Field stats. A Master Wizard with the spell casting. I'm sure... Whoop. Not sure what that was. I think it might have been a Zealot. But even more Banelings. Serral's looking for potentially the full surround. He's focusing his sights on the third base. Wow. 2 Archons and a Warp Prism. Name a more iconic combo. That is not easily killed, no matter how you slice it. Corrosive Bowels go up, but stats casually dodges. Storm is already done. Wall of Force Field. Zoning out for now. Where are the Corruptors, Serral? Where's the transition? The Greater Spire has already been made. A Fleet Beacon is on the way. Serral is not going into that Broodlord tech. He's focusing on the ground, mostly because there's an army coming across the map. It's small, but fierce. As there's a bunch of Immortals in the mix. +2 is done. Plenty of energy for Storm. Banelings get in. +2 complete. 7 probes going down, but still 73 on the table. Couple more Archons coming up, but Serral is kind of... He still hasn't built any Corruptors, right? No, not a single Corruptor. Oh, the Banelings are waiting for their moment. There's a lot of potential damage. Oh, the Banelings in the 4th base. 9 more probes. Serral waiting for his moment to strike. The thing is, the Protoss army has enough splash damage. Guardian Shield on the table. Already zoning. What a force field. A few Zealots will draw out the Banelings. Serral, this would be the time to have some Broodlords, but instead Serral has opted for 51 Banelings and counting. This is a pretty nasty position to attack into. Stats setting up his army on both sides. Here comes Serral. Storms knock out most of the Banelings, but more coming in the back. A 3rd round from the side. The Archons holding the line. The last Banelings trickling through. Is there enough? It looks like Serral ripped through, but wait, there's more. And another warp in. He's going to get some Archon stats. The shield holds. It's just Roaches and Ravagers. Somehow, his Immortals and some of his Archons survived. It looked bad, but the Banelings just don't put out the damage they needed. And now, still Immortals and Archons. Serral is relying on Roaches and Ravagers, which are never going to be your ideal choices. I think some respect here out of Serral, not throwing up Corrosive Biles. Target firing onto the Creep Tumors, but driving it back. So Serral didn't lose that fight, but he didn't really win it either, because every single time a Baneling attacks, it dies. It's a very sad story. But if you spend all of that money and lose all of those Banelings, and he's still got some units left over, like, oh, well, he had some units left over, the lone Immortal Survivor. But if you look at the units lost, you see the gas for Serral and stats is about even. That's a lot of Archons to lose, but stats is definitely being more cost-effective. It almost appears like Serral wants to avoid the late game at almost all costs. Like, he's just now... He's getting, like, an obligatory amount of Corruptors. He's like, well, I do have to kill the Prism. It feels really like he doesn't want to go Broodlords unless that is his last choice so far. And now, finally, he's already adding on +2 Flyer attack. +3 melee is completed. +2 Carapace is closing in. Serral is still relying on this ground army. Stats is as soon as he, well, while he sees this ground army, there's no reason not to continue down the Immortals, the Archons, some Stalkers in case of Broodlords mixed in. Speaking of Broodlords, there are 5 on the way, but the Mothership makes things difficult. Serral, only 1 Overseer right now. Does he have Overlord speed? He does. A bunch of Zealots coming in. He's going to need to split off units. This is where things can go wrong for Azur. Getting caught a little out of position. Broodlords caught. It appears a handful of them will finish. They're kind of scattered around in an awkward distance. Blink is already done from those Stalkers. They blink in, gonna try to take out one of the Broods, but there are plenty of Lings and Stalkers underneath. Time Warp utilized. Lings and Banes try to trickle in, but the Archons holding the line. The Immortals behind, pounding through the ground army. Only a couple Broodlords survive the engagement. 2 of them. The Queens are doing their best to take down the Mothership. They got a big job ahead of them. The 5 Archons and 5 Immortals. A few Ravagers. Another Archon goes down. The Blink Stalkers over the top. They're blocking in front. Archon still blasting through. The Immortals, their cannon shall sing. And that's it. Stats. The shield holds. And Serral, he relied too much on the Lings and Bane. And that means Team Finland is going to have to throw someone else out there. Stats showing why completely calm, cool, collected, under pressure. Holding on to those storms and holding that position. When you see, tell me, don't lie to me. Do not lie to me. How much do you panic when you see 60 Banelings rolling in from every angle? Not only did he see that, but he moved into it to an extent. Stats realizes he has what he needs. And from there, he handles it. Which means we have another match. I mean, we were going to have another match either way, but Stats stays in. Zhuge Liang is next on the chopping block. Oh my god. Stats is going. It is a best of 9. That means first to 5 matches. There are plenty of games here. This is the finals after all. You got 3 players on each team. Both teams get 2 revives. So technically, if ZGL loses, they can revive Serral one more time, but then Serral would have to win the whole thing. Whereas Team Korea still has 2 options for revives. So if Stats loses, he could technically go back in again, potentially after someone else. So, but if you want more, I recommend looking at all the interviews, all the extra content that O Gaming TV did. It's English cast. I believe Roddy and Funka and Todd were part of the cast. Go check them out. If this is on YouTube, first like and subscribe to unlock the ability to read the description. I have it on good authority that at least 3 people have read the description at some point in the history of YouTube. And there you will hopefully find, if I don't forget, a link to O Gaming and to some other matches from the tournament. Yeah, and I may have made, like, I've succeeded in confusing myself with the tournament structure several times. So I'm just going to cast the games as they come to me. And whoever gets to 9 matches first, or no, 5 matches. How did I even screw that? Oh my god. Why? Why do I bother? I'm here to cast, not for math. Stargate. Back to the script. It's gonna be an adept shading across the map. Stats. If it ain't broke. Well, if it beats Serral. Honestly, if he beats Serral with that straight up standard macro play, why not do it again? ZGL is no Serral, despite his strong play against Sue. Like, I see no reason. And it didn't even look like particularly close. At no point was Serral like, I'm going to go win the game now, so you got to do some dramatic hold. Serral didn't even really attack. He just... He threatened, and then Stats pushed across the map. Didn't quite do it. Pushed across again. GG. That's it. It is going to be a Phoenix and the Oracle. Probably a second Oracle. We'll see if he goes for a quicker Archon drop or something this time. We do have the Oracle on the way. Couple of depths involved. This is all. There's the Robo. He's got his 2 gases already done by 4 minutes. And well, the one thing I'm looking at is Stats doesn't seem to make the Twilight that quick. It looks like he's more reliant on the Robo and Sentries early. There's the pickup, and oh, ZGL! His Spore in the main was a little late, and this Oracle gonna be a lot less sad than your average Oracle, as it gets 6 kills. As long as it makes it out. That's a pretty basic mistake there. The Queen's a little late to the party, as the creep was not connected to the main in the Spore Crawler. Well, it's done now. What is all this? What is all this? 4, 5, 6 Adepts. He's just been warping in Adepts here. The Oracle's looking for an opportunity, and guess what ZGL hasn't been making after losing all these drones? Zerglings. Guess what he's going to regret not making? The drones being slaughtered. First the beams and now the glaives. Slicing through them. Only 2 hits to kill. And he's desperately making... There's no roaches. Oh, God. There were so many drones that he does need to do some damage to even it up. There's a 3rd base, Twilight. This is an absolute slaughter. Stats heading back over to the 3rd. The Phoenix is in position. This is not great for Team Finland. Stats is slicing through both their Zerg players, and he gets out. Has he even lost a unit? Oh my God. A perfect game so far from Stats. He's killed 22 drones, 4 or 5 Zerglings and counting, an Overlord, and has not lost even a single probe. He is showing. Actions speak louder than words. And this is how you do it. Will we see our first unit lost? Nope. It's a struggle. A lurker den rushed out by ZGL. I don't know. Even, like, Stats has the same amount of workers. Does he have Immortals? He has 3 Immortals already. Charge is on the way, adding on 4 more gates, giving him that full 3 base production. Will there be Storm as well, or is that just overkill? I'm just waiting to see when the first unit will die. We're 7.5 minutes in. Dozens of Zerglings. Well, not dozens of Zerglings, but 7 Zerglings. Oh, will this be it? This is the moment? No, there's even a Zealot protecting. Oh my God, is it gonna happen? Still nothing. Even the probe won't die, taking the next base. There's a possibility of a professional perfect game. That's a lot of Zerglings. Oh, the force fields trapped the Queen! There are lurkers on the way. Stats taking it slow. The lurkers are definitely a major threat. Like, you can't go... Even if he sees them, he's going to lose units dealing with them. It looks like finally that streak will end, as this probe will die. And so will the Zealots. Press F to pay respects to the first Protoss units to die. Alongside that 4th base, that's a very dead 4th base there. Speaking of dead 4th bases. Oh, Bane legs! Oh wait, the storm is already done! And the water balloons come out! A perfect defense. Stat! Stats. He's even gonna take the rich Vespine base now. ZGL is scrambling for options. I mean, it was a good cancel on the 4th. He might even get another one. Storm could be utilized here. Getting another cancel? Hey, that's something. He's making progress, but look at the supply. Okay, that changed. No, didn't change much with 20 more Zerglings. That's as a Protoss we can all get behind. Showing the people how it's done. Calm, cool, collected. Just slowly, methodically, and meaningfully moving across the map when it makes sense. Defending when it's required. Scouting with Immortals, because of course, every Protoss has to do that every now and again. You all know how it goes when you rally that Observer. There are lurkers, but can he break them? We're going to get a nice tag. There it is. Spots almost all the lurkers. They're all clumped up. There's plenty of defense. Force field's used. He's zoning out the Zerglings. He just zones them out. He says no 4th. I don't need to fight your lurkers. Your base is right here. I'll take that. That works for me. The lurker's going to go for it. The hive is about to finish. To ZGL's credit, he's made it this far. Oh. But once again... a storm softens those lurkers up. The hive is done. Oh, the base isn't even canceled. Another storm. Stats takes the base, and this time he's going to take more. Pounding through. And then the counterattack from the 4th. Here comes Stats. The Immortals and the Archon shielding the Templar from the Banes. Baneling speed. A critical mistake. He didn't have it. The Immortals pounding the point home. There's nothing to stop the Immortal Archon army. Instead, deletes Zhuge Liang from the match, bringing Korea to 3 points. Total of 3 at this point. So, Team Finland, they get another revive. Who will it be? Will it be MustZero? Will it be? Or... I don't know. Could be anyone. But for Team Finland, the world champion of 2018, NC Sports, Serral. In for revenge. Stats has now played 2 Protoss versus Zergs, including against the man himself. Can he take home a 3rd? And we're on World of Sleepers, which, for many reasons, including the difficulty of taking a 3rd and the possibilities of dangerous counterattacks, is not considered a great Protoss map overall. Whereas Zerg players are able to pretty easily establish a rich Vespene base early on, which really jumpstarts their tech, especially lair tech. So it's a really tough base for Protoss players to compete economically, especially if the Zerg is able to defend any pressure. Stats is going with the gate expand. I would love to see a cannon rush or something, but Serral's not going to risk it. I want to thank O Gaming again for putting on this event for the last several years. While Team America not able to make as much of a splash as we hoped for, still a strong showing getting into the quarterfinals and losing to this team, South Korea, or was it Finland? I don't know. One of these two. It was Finland. But it is how it went down. Now we see. Are we doing the playbook again? Is it going to be a Stargate, and then an Adept, and then a third from Serral, and then a dance back and forth? We'll have to see. It is a Stargate and an Adept and a third, but Serral not taking the greedy third, taking the safe third. Can I just put myself on repeat from the last game and we can just play it back? We do have a Phoenix. Well, there's a Zergling. Is this not a rich? Are there versions of this map without rich Vespene? We'll see when we get there. I didn't think that was true. Well, we'll see when we get down there. I'm not 100%. People... Jimmy, get me that information. It's hard to tell from here. We need to get someone in vision range. Ow. Well, the rich Vespene was part of the reason why Zerg players had such an advantage on this map. So we'll see. Who knows? Maybe I guess Serral's screwed now. Maybe not. Evo Chamber, is this going to be the +1 melee? This is my favorite style up against early Stargate. I don't necessarily think it's a winning style. It's just more fun. The heavy Zergling counters, and considering that Serral doesn't have a lair yet, and he's really just only has the Evo Chamber of tech. +1 melee Zerglings. And then, of course, transitioning into the +2 later on. This is to punish a player who's too greedy with their Stargates. Maybe overrun a third base and deny that for quite a while. And also have the option for +2 melee, which allows Banelings to one-shot those pesky probes. Adepts are coming across the map. Stats is showing the same build he did up against Zhuge Liang. Now, Serral is building plenty of Zerglings. He doesn't have that many to match him here. He's at 48. He's going to fight. Then again, just boxing out these Adepts and softening him up, keeping him from shading through. He's going to prevent the damage that was done to his counterpart. And Stats, at the last second, cancels that shade, maneuvering those Adepts adeptly. And back at home, Twilight, Forge. Oh, he's going to catch one. He's going for more. Serral, that's going to find a couple. Wait! Stats decides, I'm going to brawl it out. +1 melee isn't done. These Adepts, oh my god. Stats! The Micromancer, I take it all back. Oh, he really wants to kill as many Zerglings as possible. Adepts do have kind of a shelf life, to be honest. Anything you can get done now with Adepts is worth it, as long as you can defend back at home. Because Adepts are not a mid-game, they're not a late-game unit. They just don't have the utility and stopping power of Zealots, and they don't have the harass potential either. Just overall, despite whatever silly upgrades Blizzard decides to add, so far, Adepts are an early game, pressure, timing, harass unit, but really fall off in comparison to other well-upgraded gateway units later. So you trade those Adepts for Zerglings, and then you sign up to be a stockbroker because you're making all the smart trades for your long-term tech investments. Once again, Roach Speed on the way. It's going to be... I feel Serral is in a little bit better position than he was in their first match economically. He's threatened a lot, and also stats went for that Adept timing, which he didn't do in the first match. So that cost him. It slowed down the tech a little bit. Like, there's already +2 melee on the way. The Baneling Nest is going to be spotted, which will be a little bit of a giveaway. Very interesting that Serral does not favor the Hydra Lurker style that a lot of players have been using, which ZGL was using, but of course under duress in that previous match. A lot more drones on the way. This is going to bring Serral over 70, which is a big commitment. We'll have to see from here. No infestation pit yet. +2 melee still Serral, come on. He heard me. Obviously. Several days in the past. The 4th base, yeah, as of yet untaken. That's what the observer's pointed out. I believe it's Indy. Also a very good player himself. I gotta respect, like, one of my favorite things are when I get matches that have observers in them, so that way I can really focus on talking with my hands and with my mouth noises. As opposed to having to try to observe the game like a frantic child who had too much Red Bull. The rocks are going to be taken down. Serral doesn't want to be caught between a rock and a hard place. +2 melee about to complete. As well as, well, Baneling speed is done. And these Banelings are rolling dangerous. Working their way in. Storm is not done. Storm is not. He forces the Templar out. He's trapped the probes inside his own base. The Archon drop comes through. 10 probes go down. 15 probes. 20 probes. That's going to be the count. 51 left over. That's real damage right there. And it's not over yet. The Baneling drops are on the way. They're queued up. And the thing is, stats, he didn't have Storm done. Serral forced some Templar to merge into Archons. He slowed down that important tech, so guess what? He doesn't really have counterattack potential either. This is not the first match. Serral gets in, he gets the damage done. Stats, is he going to react? Oh no, the Banelings are rolling in. They're +2. They one-shot. Oh, one Baneling is still super dangerous. Oh my god. Oh, Serral. Missed opportunity, but there's so much going on. What is this? 2 sentries and an Adept. Caught out and killed. Everywhere is danger. Oh my god, here comes Serral. Up from the top side, trying to bait the units away. Will he be successful? He's like, come on! Come on, guys! Come on! Come with me! Those Zerglings are desperately trying to bait, but not masterfully enough. Stats is maintaining his position. He's on a precarious place. He's in a precarious place economically. He has to be very careful. The rest of the units, he's going to try again. He's going to really set the hook this time. Oh, one Archon goes down. The other one gets picked up. The Banelings roll through. Serral assumed stats would react faster than he did, but a Baneling dropping behind the mineral line. 14 probes, 15. It's a disaster. As now over 30... Wait, how many? Give me the count. 44 probes have gone down. But the Baneling run-by at the 4th base was assuming stats would react quicker. Like, the way Serral sets up his attacks, he assumes... Like, he sets up his attacks, assuming his opponent is an incredibly good player. And because Stats was a little slow, he actually got out of position that last time. Oh, the Archon dying to Baneling. I've never seen that happen before in my entire StarCraft career, I'm pretty sure. Greater Spire's on the way. Serral just wave after wave after wave after wave of Zerglings. He keeps throwing them out. Another, oh, great Stasis Ward to start. Stats utilizing all his options. There's another Stasis Ward at the front. Serral spots it now that he knows what to look for. Banelings are just going to roll through. There's not that much splash damage. The Archons are trying to block out, but more probes are going to die. Meanwhile, probes rolling into the fourth base. That's no reaction. 33 probes. 35 and counting. Stats barely has that many left over. Serral still has 85 workers. He's got 5 hatcheries, and he's got a few chips on his shoulder from those previous matches. Another round, loaded up and good to go, and it's not like he's been slacking on the tech either. He has a Greater Spire done. He's got +3 on the way. He does still have those 85 drones. He still has a larger army supply. He can refill the Banelings for another round. Here comes Serral. Looking for an opportunity. Nice storm. That was one of the first storms we've seen out of Stats. He's forced so many Archons out. Immortals don't die easily to Banelings, but they do die. The base. When you can right-click on bases with Banelings, you're in a pretty good spot as a Zerg. Stats driven back down. Oh, another round! Suddenly, this place is looking more and more like a prison. Serral with no mercy. Oh my god. He's killed 96 probes. Look at the supply. Serral's maxed out again. This could be the finishing blow. He's having fun with it now. I think he's been having fun with it for a while. Showing that Team Finland isn't just gonna roll over. They're gonna roll in from all angles. The Banelings, the Zerglings, the Templar exposed. Storm, not even in time. Too many hits. Too much Zerg. And 2 Gs. Serral strikes back. A solid and strong victory for Serral. Anything he didn't have in that final match, that match the first time against Stats, he made up for it there. The Zergling play, making sure Stats couldn't just sit back, build up his silly Immortals and Archons. Nope. Not that time. But Jimmy says, before we get into these final matches, I'll spoil it. Serral versus Innovation is up next. So don't go anywhere while we have a quick advertisement. Thank you guys for watching. I'll be right back. Good pause, ad block it. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Winter, and I'm here to talk to you about Twitch Prime. Did you know if you have Amazon Prime, like 100 million people out there, and you connect it with Twitch, like about 1 million people out there, and you can subscribe to a stream of your choice for free every month, and since neither 100 million nor 1 million people have subscribed to my stream as of yet, you can still make the difference in bringing us to 100% subscriptions on the only channel that matters. And also, you might be like, Winter, but I'm on YouTube, and I can't be bothered to go to a whole nother website. Did you know that subscribing on YouTube is free? For the click of a button, or the tap of a S Pen, which is a phone that I've used in the past, or for the smudge of a touchscreen, or for the whatever they, like a trackball. I think you still click with a trackball mouse, though. Like, there's still a button that clicks. Anyways, you can subscribe for free because it's YouTube. Everybody knows that by now. But did you know you can also click the actual subscribe button, which is the bell icon? Because it could be like, well, I'm subscribed on YouTube. Well, why don't you just go yourself? Because they're not going to show you the videos. But if you jam that bell button, then you'll get even more notifications, which you might be like, you put a video out every day. That's going to get super annoying, because I know just go to your channel once a day and I'll find a video. But if you do it anyways, more people can get annoyed about my videos today. So thank you, good luck, and have fun. Thank you guys for sticking around. I know ads are annoying and loud, and sometimes the unskippable ones are kind of BS, but it's tough out there. All right, we got to compete with the 12-year-old Minecraft viewers, and all of that, and my 34-year-old web developer friends from California, Washington, and Germany. We got to try. Okay. With that, let's get into... I was about to say the final match, but this isn't the final match because of math. It's tied up 3-3. South Korea versus Finland for South Korea. Innovation. The man. The myth. The machine. Some say he doesn't have emotions, and to that he says... On the other side, it is the Finnish Zerg player. Can he lead the team all the way back down to the marketplace? It is Serral. Which is apparently a thing in Finland, which I learned from Finnish people. Where you celebrate by going down to the marketplace, and I assume consuming ungodly amounts of alcohol at every part of the process. So, speaking of cheese, it's going to be, is this a 14-14, I believe? From Serral, maybe a little bit later, but it is a pull first with gap. This isn't some sort of like macro. Wait, whoa. Okay, so yes, he's up against a Terran. For some reason, I thought it was stats on the other side. I'm like, he's walling off on the high ground, and then I remember it was innovation, and he's Terran, and that's what Terrans do. But this is still a bit of a cheeky play here. Looks like Serral, he's going to try to sneak Zerglings out, but guess what? It appears he's kind of stopped with that idea, as there is an SCV scout coming out of innovation. If there was no SCV scout, then I think there would be more Zerglings out of Serral, because you can sneak the Zerglings out before a Reaper gets there. That's kind of the point. But if there is an SCV scout, they're going to see the pull first. They're going to be ready. So you just get a few Zerglings, and you keep that Reaper back at home. Preparing for the grand opening of the Queen. The very first inject is always the most memorable, as they say. Zergling's on the way in. They're waiting for their moment. Zergling speed is pretty quick here. If innovation mistimes it a little, the Reaper could easily be caught, and then there'd be no scouting for quite a while. The Reaper... Where did the Reaper go? It's halfway across the map, which means the Zerglings are going to get in. Surprise! That mule was dropped on the wrong location. He decides he has to sacrifice the mule, which really sucks. at this stage of the match, and Serral actually gets out with all... Who leaves with 4 Zerglings? He's like, no, I could use these 4 Zerglings to kill the Reaper, so I got what I came for. The Hellions dart in, but guess what? Oh my god. Stop it! He snipes another mule! What? And he gets out with the Zerg! No! What is this? It's, he got out with all 4 lings. Is Serral playing a perfect game? Well, I guess mules never even existed. Technically, mules don't count as units lost, I guess. Which is very sad. But still, pretty ridiculous that Serral was able to do this much with just those first 4 lings. So, really justifying the initial investment. There's now 16 lings out there, which is a pretty big investment as well. So how much did the OVC? It saw the fusion core, so it saw enough. That's all you need to know. Like, even if he doesn't go battlecruiser, like, what's the difference going to be? Oh, you made a queen? You made a bunch of queens? How crazy is that? Who makes a bunch of queens? What a hacker. Serral obviously making a bunch of queens just means, well... No, everybody makes queens. In fact, Serral was one of the first players to show, you know how you defend against battlecruisers? Like 6 queens. Battlecruiser's nearly done. There's only 1 spore, so this means that Serral is not 100% convinced it's battlecruiser. Like, if he was 100%, I think he'd be building 2 or 3 spores in the main, because he didn't see the fusion core finished. The battlecruiser does complete. The lair is done, so the Spire commitment... Oh my god, just kind of killing... Oh, the battlecruiser loses focus! Oh. Okay. Serral stabilizing. Not reacting there. No aim move. The Zerglings are now on the run. The Hellions are chasing them. Getting hit from the sky and the ground. So, this is always a weird calculation you gotta make. Like, this is not serious damage to Serral, but at some point it does become too much. Like, it gives innovation too much space. I don't think we've reached that point yet. Because he's killed a bunch of Zerglings. He's just the investment in not drones. You gotta remember that when you build units, you're building not drones. When you kill a drone, it's like 2 points, for example, if that makes sense. Because you have to use the larva to build another drone on top of the minerals. Whereas if you build a Zergling, if they build a Zergling to counter your Hellions, you've essentially gotten 1 point. You've got like half a drone because they use that larva on something that wasn't drones and those resources. Because Zerg production, well, that's how it works. Now, one thing I'm noticing for innovation, no upgrades yet. It almost looks like he wants to go for a timing, which is a little odd, going for the more classical mech style of siege tanks and Hellions. 2 armories. Well, part of the reason he doesn't have any upgrades, I think, is because he just now starts his 2 armories, which is a little on the late side. Already infestors with Neural Parasite being upgraded. So Serral wants to directly counter those battlecruisers. What is a better counter to battlecruisers than other battlecruisers? If he can grab them, especially when they have their abilities on cooldown, he can just jump them into his anti-air or into each other and use those Yamato cannons as well as tactical jump. It is a bit of a gamble, but Serral has 75 drones. Like, right now, there's nothing that's going to seriously threaten him as long as he keeps those drones alive. Hellions darting in. Innovation. Did Serral cancel that base? I don't think he did, but not a huge deal. So Serral's building Hydras. But remember, the Infestors are to counter the Battlecruisers. He's actually going 1-to-1 with it, which is a little interesting. Yamato Cannon Jews. You can't outrun a Yamato Cannon, Brenda. Where are the Infestors? Oh, where's the grab? Does Neural Parasite interrupt tactical jump? We won't find out quite yet, but I think we'll find out soon. I'm not actually sure. I think once the jump is started, you can't interrupt it, but you can stop it before it starts. I'm not 100% though exactly how that works. Also, there was a bug for a couple days during the test mod where if you abducted a battlecruiser, the teleport was on cooldown, which was a lot of fun at Home Story Cup, aka Terran players like, see? Zerg is broken, but that it doesn't take much for that argument to start. That was fixed the next day, by the way, just in case you were wondering if that's why your battlecruiser. No, the answer is no, that's not why. 1-1 on the way. Serral, does he have that? He has the hive done. He's building 3 Vipers. He could do the alley-oop, hit the yank into the Neural Parasite. Innovation just now taking a 4th or setting up for a 4th. He does have a lot of army supply to work with. So, the Infestors are looking for a catch here. If they can catch the battlecruisers and jump them into the Hydra as well, that's all the mobility that Innovation has. Those are essentially his only air units. They are his only air units, not a sentry. Oh, the Hellions slipping through. The Queens couldn't do enough. 8 drones going to go down. Innovation's actually at 89 SCVs. 10 drones going down just puts Serral at a comfortable number. Innovation definitely knows there are Vipers now. Lurker Den is complete. Some changelings on the way. Where are those Infestors? I don't know where the... Dun, 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 dun. Sorry. The battlecruisers are all the real mobility. Serral, do it! He grabs them! Yamato's on one another! He jumps them right into... Wait, do they maintain the neural? What? They even maintain it if they tactical jump within range? It goes through dimensions? Fun fact. So now Serral has nothing to keep him from moving his entire army in onto Innovation. There is range on these lurkers. They don't outrange tanks, but they outrange almost anything else. And the ranges are close enough that the tanks are in a risky... Oh my god, get over here! Every single one of the Thors, suddenly Innovation. He's looking real sparse over here. A lot more tanks have to make their way down, but Serral's already moved into position. He doesn't quite have adaptive talent yet, but he's in range of the planetary. He is writing a textbook on how to play this right now. The planetary is being sliced and diced. The lurkers, with the cover of the blinding cloud, move into position. The lurkers are close enough that the tanks are getting hit. I don't think Innovation is quite used to this yet either. Another run-by coming up, but is killing Serral's workers. Really going to do much right now. If he doesn't get like 50 of them, Serral can easily replace them. Serral showing how it's done, how to pick apart that mecha army one bit, one bite at a time. The lurkers are holding it down. The Vipers are dragging them closer. The tanks are holding for now. But what's the exit strategy? There should be a blinding cloud in a moment. The Infestors are still involved. Yanking some tanks in. Not going to settle for blinding cloud. He wants kills. Get over here. You're next. Serral making it look easy. Oh, the scan will force a few more. This is real drone nick. All right, that's 22 drones going down for free there, for a scan. And then another base. There's not many drones to kill here, but he'll get them. Okay, so that's real damage. That's a body blow right there. He will lose the Hellions, but he's actually going to take a few Hydras on the way out as well. And steal an SCV. Do it. Do it. Come on. Serral. If Serral grabs innovation, no, he takes the tank, but oh my god, you know what counters tanks is tanks. He's like, thank you very much, my friend. And then blinding cloud on the tanks as they come. Well, okay, that was a mistake. I really want Serral to just build a command center. Come on. Serral, as you know, a BM trash talker if I ever saw one. $17 more drones going down. Serral has lost 73, but in the end, doesn't even matter. Innovation's holding on, but the Vipers are reloaded. Their batteries charged. They changed out the AAA batteries in their Game Boys, and now they're ready to play again. They're gonna catch themselves some Thor Pokemons and some tanks as well. Oh my god, it's a disaster for Innovation. Oh, wait. And Serral is killing SCVs with, well, the Infestors are very dead now, but most of them. The Lurkers obliterating the base. One Hydra left to take its fill of the SCVs. Oh my god, the SCVs are transferred! He left one! Oh, Serral! He let them think they were escaping. And then he rips their dreams right out from under them. Oh, that's not a great position. Wait a second. Okay, that's not great. Oh, you're getting some Vikings. Pretty good, but I was actually losing a lot there. Okay. There you go. Queues up the abduct. He's killing a solid amount of the Vipers, but this is one of the points where Thors don't have the strength they once did. They attack a lot faster. Well, they attack almost twice as fast and do half as much damage. But that means the one-shot potential is a lot lower on the Vipers. It takes like 6 or 7 Thors now. Down goes that. How many blinding clouds are involved? The tanks aren't that clumped. A lot of them still unsieged. He resieges them up. Scans coming across the board. Serral is still tasked with closing this out. Innovation is close to the brink. He's held on. He's got a whole lot of tanks. 18 tanks. Oh, and Serral just gutting. Brings a couple tanks close. There's one more at the back. There's no other ones that are close. The Hydras are making their way up, yanking more tanks in. Reinforcements are coming up. But does Serral have the energy to actually pull this one off? Brings the Thor closer. That Thor won't quite make it. It's just Serral's being pretty damn cost-effective here. Gas-wise, it's a little closer to even, but +3 ranged attack, well, mech weapons done for Innovation. Those tanks are going to hit pretty hard. A lot of dead. Innovation still has 70 SCVs despite all of this. And Orbital's not going to make it here. Innovation has very little left to defend on this part of the map. There's not that much energy on these Vipers, but no scan on the Lurkers. There's another Lurker working in, just out of range of the turret. Serral finding all the angles. How many Vipers is that? He's got 13 Vipers! Oh, no! Serral, don't consume your own hatch! Which is a trend for him. Still hard to lay down the kill. 2 Spires on the way. With that much energy, he does have Blinding Clouds. Or Abducts. Both work. Serral making it look easy. He yanks a couple more over. Blinding Cloud on the tanks. He can't. He was just lining them up. Liberators on the way. A few. Drones roasted. Liberators, wait a second, in the planetary live. But at what cost? Serral has this base. It's just for consumes. He's got the consumption. Whoa, whoa, Serral. Serral. Okay. Not that losing a base would be the end of the world right now. Lurkers. Oh, there goes the GG. Serral yanks innovation out of the game. And he yanks Team Korea out of the lead. That's 2 more for the Finnisher. And there's just 1 remaining. The next challenger for Team Korea has to take it all the way home. Has to take just 2 matches. The final revive for Team Korea. The Shield of Io. In the bottom right. With his last chance to stop another victory for the Finnish Zerg. Stats. This is the Nation Wars 2019 Grand Finals, hosted by O Gaming TV in Paris, France. If you want to check them out, remember the links below in the description, which you unlock by liking and subscribing, saying Winter, you do the best casting of any caster named after one of the 4 major seasons. And to that I will say thank you, and please subscribe. And you can find more seasonal casting all seasons of the year, because it's always winter somewhere. Kind of. Mars. Anyway. Zero versus stats. Round 3. It's 1-1. A mini best of 3 in this best of 9. How fitting that potentially the last match is BlizzCon contenders. Obviously, these teams kind of, well, Team Korea once again. There were a few teams in this tournament as stacked as Team Korea. But now we're fighting to determine. And remember, Zhuge Liang. I'm never going to be able to say that name correctly. ZGL beat Sue. Okay. Sue won't even get a chance to play again. He's gone 0-1 in these finals, and, well, that's it. Because it's stats or it's nobody from here. A Stargate? An Adept? Can I get 4 Zerglings? Yes. Can I get a 3rd out of Serral after driving away the probe? Can I get a 2nd Adept? Interesting Adept shade there. Interesting that he went to the side. A single Zergling comes across. He leaves 3 at home. He says, why would I waste all of my Zerglings when I could scout with just 1? Serral, ever the efficient man. Phoenix first. The Adept chases the Zergling, looking for a 2nd hit. Finds it. Should be an Oracle following up that first Phoenix. And 2 gas gassers, and I'm going to close my eyes. And now we have a robotics facility. Spore Crawlers going up for Serral. He's going to be building a 4th Queen, probably at the natural, and 1 Creep Tumor. And if he's feeling spicy, an Evolution Chamber for +1. Warp Gate will be finishing in a moment. And 2 Adepts will be warped in. And then they will head towards the 3rd, unless he's going to go for the 6 Adept timing. Phoenix, taking out the Overlord, will head across the map with the Oracle. Queen going to drive it out. Oh, my eyes are all blurry now. I need to... Oh, I can't... Is this how blind... Is this how people wear glasses see? Jesus, I should not have held it like that. It's gonna be the 6 Adepts. Once again, he showed this before. I'm kind of surprised he's going for it again. As, well, Serral gonna get the jump on it here. That was... I'm like, that's kind of something you do in one matchup. That's actually a bit of a... That's like a one-time use kind of build in a series, and he's used it. Now that's the 3rd time. It hasn't worked twice against Serral. It worked against ZGL. But sending those 6 Adepts out kind of slows down your 3rd and the rest of your tech. And it leaves you open to a counterattack against a Zerg player who still can have plenty of workers. So I kind of question that play there. There's the Twilight and the Forge. Serral has been showing a whole lot of Lings and Roaches and Ravagers. And he's opted a whole lot less. Oh, there's the Queen pickup. Another Queen pickup. He's going into the main. The Oracle's getting a little distracted, but decent. Oh, no, wait! Oh, come on. That's a little shaky here. There's a lot on the line. This is the Nation Wars Finals. Yeah, BlizzCon is nice, but you're fighting for your nation, for your country. And your country is South Korea. I feel like even in 2019, it's still embarrassing for South Korea to be considered inferior to somewhere like, say, Finland. Especially in esports. But Serral doesn't seem to care. Serral's now going for a quicker infestation pit this time around. More roaches on the way, a clutch of them. Archon morphed in. Gonna work its way forward. And... okay, I zoned out. Zone back in. This is it. Stats has to put this together. Looks like he's gonna go across the map. Is there a warp prism? Is there a warp prism? Warp prism is done. Charge is finishing up. He wants to put some pressure on Serral. He wants to box out for his 4th base, because the best defense is a good offense. Recall is well off cooldown. Ravagers, Roaches, Banelings are the counter. A second robotics facility is on the way. Baneling's speed is about to finish up, though. And +1/+1 on both attack upgrades here for Serral. He's already sent out a group of Zerglings to pressure the 4th base. A drop is coming in for the natural. 2-2 immediately started. +1 and charge completed for Stats. The drop coming into the net as well. It's gonna be Banelings. Stats not paying attention. Oh no, 9. Make that 16 probes. Also known as all of the mineral probes at the 3rd. Serral with a body shot there. Knocks him down. 59 probes, still an okay number, but he can't afford to lose anymore. He's going to come in with another round of Zerglings. It's not over yet by any means, but Stats cannot afford any more of that. One more hit like that, and he's in desperation mode. Catches a group of Zerglings. Nice secondary force fields there. Is the 4th base defended? There are 2 Archons, and there's a War Prism. It should be enough. Stats deals with it, but there are Zerglings in the net. Stats holds. The shield rotates to defend. Oh, Archon's dying to Banelings. What am I... Oh my god, what a play. Stats! Oh, is that an Archon without full HP? Which is definitely a rare Pokemon right there, for sure. But Stats holds everything. He closes ranks. And holds the line. Now Serral. Does he have his hive done? He's got his hive done. He's got his spire. He's going to make that spire great again. We got +2 ranged attack, +2 melee. They're closing in. Adrenal Gland. A whole lot of roaches, lings, ravagers. That's still, like, when you don't have that economy, when you've been struggling and you lost those probes, what you don't have is the ability to transition easily. That's why we don't see the additional Stargates, a fleet beacon. Stats is just trying to get up to 200 supply as soon as possible. Whereas Serral is not only getting everything on the ground, he's also going to have the option for Infestors and Broodlords later on. Maybe Neural Parasite, but probably Infestors and Broodlords. We might even see Microbial Shroud, but there's no use for it right now. Stats still looking to hold. There's the Fleet Beacon. Mothership, not a bad spot defense option. 4 Archons, 3 shield batteries, a cannon, and a prism. Good luck, Lings and Banes. They do... Well, Adrenal Gland's done in 15 seconds. That is a Ling counter, if I've ever seen one. Oh, the Lings and Banes. The shields must hold. Force field used. There's no Archons with the army. They break through. Corrosive Bile. Serral slamming into everything. Another round of force fields will keep them at bay. He has to hold the reinforcements from the 4th. It's not the end yet. He did lose 6 Immortals, mostly in that area. But Stats, there isn't the Broodlord transition. Serral's reloading for another pass. He wants to go for the, well, for the killing blow. When you have 25 Banelings and you're making 22 more, you're not looking to play a long-winded game. Those Banelings want to get up in their grill. Beautiful storm! Stat drives him back again. Serral's going to have to rethink his options. He does. Corruptor's on the way. And he will rebuild, even going out on the map. I don't know if that's a little optimistic. That's a lot of Banelings, Mr. Stats! He's actually gonna... a phalanx of Zealots. The Archons deal with it. Their psionic shockwaves holding for now. There needs to be an observer to help clear up this creep. Serral is on his doorstep with the creep tumors. Serral's still in the driver's seat, but Stats has done an incredible job of defending. Couldn't ask for much more. Getting caught a couple times, a few minor blunders, but in terms of overall defense has been near perfect with his storms and his force fields. Another group, the bridge is being used. A handful of Zerglings, but they're very dangerous Zerglings. +2 Cracklings. Attacking incredibly fast. +3 about to complete the mothership here to save the day. Mama's home, but guess what? 6 Broodlords in the mail. They're about to be delivered to Serral's army. Oh, the mortal tries to back up into a corner. The Zealots are no match for the Zerglings. They're running roughshod over everything. Shredding through the Zealots. They warp in. They die just as quickly. These Zerglings are not being stopped without splash damage. They're just killing everything. An Adept, finally, the Adept in the wall. But so many Zealots died, stopping a dozen Zerglings or so. Here come the Broodlords. Is their blink done? Blink is done. He has an opportunity. We've been here before. The Broodlord's at the back. The Queen's trying to help. Beautiful Storm starts things out on the Broods. He does have detection. Plenty of Overseers in the back. 16 probes just dying to Banelings there. I don't even know how they got there. Stats has to hold. He has to make a stand against the Broods. A Time Warp could be used in the center. I'm not sure he has quite the energy there. Oh, and here comes... Yeah, beautiful Time Warp. Also affects the air units. Transfuses. That's a lot of Broods. The Archon's powering through. Here come the Banelings. The Storms holding on to the Broodlords. Time Warp runs out. Stats still at 200 supply. Serral's trying to break through, but the shields are holding. Just for now. There's no more Time Warp ready. Blinks are risky. He goes in. Snipes one. Looking for more. The Banelings closing the distance. The Storm's holding. Some of the Banelings connect. Another Warp in. The Cloak is still there. And he might lose his last Overseer. Oh, there's one more at the back. Serral streams in. 70 more Zerglings in production. The Broodlords are forced back, but somehow Stats holds. And even finds an opportunity to counterattack. Now he's on the march. He's got to take whatever part of the map he can get back. What an incredible game. +3 ground weapons is completed, but that's so many Zerglings. You got to take your opportunities when you get them, though. He's got to be able to jump on these Broodlords as quick as possible. He does. There's so many Zerglings. There's still 3 Broodlords intact. Did he go too far? The Overseer's there. The Archon's pinned up against the wall. Serral grabs him. Serral rips him apart. Only the mothership survived, and only because there's no anti-air. Stats has to tuck his mothership tail between its metaphorical and completely non-existent legs, and every bit of his army ripped to shreds. And another round of Ravagerling Bane. How many Broods? Only 5. A few more being built up. They're back at home, rebuilding their numbers. Stats has had some time to rebuild as well, but Serral definitely maintaining the better end of things by obliterating Stats' army. Immortals and Archon. Oh. Oh! The Oracle lives. Outrunning. That's a lot of Zerglings. A wall is almost no object now. He'll just go through the wall. These Zerglings don't care. Stalkers aren't gonna matter. Oh my god, look at that Cybercore die. Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah. The Zerglings don't care about Stalkers or Immortals. Or walls. Another Cybercore has to be built in order to rebuild Stalkers. Oh my god. Zerglings are so dangerous. Serral consolidating his lead, adding on some static defense. Stats has 69 probes. Nice. But is it nice enough? As his bases are starting to mine out, his walls being breached. Now, there's another dimension. There's going to be infestors. Fungal, while infested Terrans aren't a threat, because they don't exist. Fungal to keep Stalkers and Archons in place while the Broodlords pelt them with their little baby Broodlings. This time Serral's doing it the right way. He's not doing it the quick way. He's not doing it the easy way. He's doing it the right way. He is the finisher, and he's looking to finish this tournament for Finland. He was invited to the presidential reception for Finnish people who do amazing things. I think that was the technical name. And for a reason. Go look it up. That's a lot of Broodlord stats. He's gonna give up the base. He's not maxed out. Oh my god, Serral tags the army, grabs the Oracle, and then he holds it in place and knocks it down with the corrosive vial. There's no cloak for you. Have you ever seen a Zerg with such a great revelation? A time warp. All the energy on the mothership is gone. There's still some infestors, but the Fungals, here come the Broodlords. Good storms. That's 15. 15 Broods against 9 Archons. Those Archons so thick so chunky and so unable to close the distance. Serral just holding him down, looking to knock him out. There are some stalkers. Storms across the bow, but the Brood Lords hold. And Serral closing in. Stats is running out of options. Everything grabbed. Some Archons turn against one another. Another fungal. Is there any match for the Broodlings? There's almost no units left. The mothership survives. The mothership is legitimately targeting things. Wait, Stats! He still has a mothership! Which is technically a counter, but it doesn't even matter. GG! Serral wins it for Finland. 5-3. What a match. Stats showing what a struggle it can be. Serral adapting. Showing why he's still, even in many people's minds, one of the best, if not the best in the world. Throughout those matches. 5 points to 3. Getting through the United in the playoffs. Making it through the United States of America. Through Italy. And then through South Korea. I hope you enjoyed my coverage of it. Go check out O Gaming TV and support them in Nation Wars and Nation Wars 2020, which, well, next year. But thank you for watching. Like and subscribe and ring all the bells and all of that. Good luck, have fun. Congratulations, Finland. And GG.